Here's a crazy truth. Nearly 1 in 5 online shoppers now uses buy now pay later, even for things like food, skincare, and clothes. And what started as a simple split your payment option has become a multi-billion-dollar machine growing faster than credit cards. But the real plot twist? BNPL companies don't make most of their money from you. They make it from the stores you shop at. Buy now pay later isn't just another payment method. It's quietly changing how millions of people spend money, how businesses push sales, and how debt is reshaped into something that feels harmless. BNPL grew because it solved two major problems at the same time. People hate credit card interest. Businesses hate abandoned carts. BNPL steps in like a hero. Don't worry, pay later, or split it into 4. But behind the friendly app screens, soft pastel colors, and a pressure-free checkout button, there is a powerful business model engineered to influence behavior, increase spending, and lock you into patterns you barely notice. This isn't a story about payments. It's a story about psychology, incentives, and the new form of consumer debt. Let's break down how BNPL companies like Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm turned a simple idea into a global spending engine. We'll break this into 5 short chapters so it's easy to follow. BNPL companies understand something powerful. You don't feel pain when you spend tomorrow's money. With credit cards, people already feel guilty. But with BNPL? Split into 4? Doesn't feel like spending. Pay later? Feels like free money. No interest? Feels harmless. BNPL companies purposely reduce the emotional friction of buying. And when people feel less pain, they spend 34 to 40% more on average, depending on the category. This behavioral trick skyrockets business revenue, and BNPL earns from that. Here's the part most people don't know. BNPL companies aren't relying on your late fees. That's a small slice. Their real profits come from businesses, because BNPL boosts sales. 1. Merchant fees, their biggest income. Retailers pay BNPL companies up to 6% per transaction. Why? Because BNPL increases conversion rate, average order value, impulse buys, repeat customers. To brands, paying BNPL is like paying for advertising, but far more effective. 2. Late fees. Even though BNPL markets itself as no fees, late fees are exploding as more users fall behind. Small penalties add up across millions of people. 3. Interest on longer plans, up to 36 months. The famous pay in 4, 0 interest is the attention grabber. But longer financing plans do charge interest, often higher than credit cards. This part of the business is extremely profitable. 4. Data monetization. BNPL apps know what people buy, how often, price sensitivity, preferred brands, which items convert instantly. This purchase-level data is gold. BNPL companies use it to build recommendation engines, upsells, partner deals, and targeted promotions. They are not a payment company. They are a data company disguised as convenience. The BNPL model works because it taps into human behavior more effectively than credit cards. A few subtle psychological triggers. 1. The small number effect. A $200 shoe becomes $50 divide by 4. Your brain sees the $50, not the $200. 2. The micro-commitment illusion. Paying in small parts feels manageable, even when total spending increases massively. 3. The no-interest trust signal. No interest makes BNPL feel safe. It creates psychological permission to spend. 4. The loss aversion trap. Once you make the first payment, you're invested. You're more likely to complete all payments, even if your financial situation changes. BNPL isn't just technology. It's a behavior design system engineered to maximize spending. Here's a secret. BNPL isn't built for consumers. It's built for businesses. Retailers push BNPL aggressively because it reduces cart abandonment by 20 to 30%. It increases average spending by 40%. It attracts younger shoppers. It beats credit card conversions. It offers better insights than traditional payment systems. For e-commerce brands, BNPL is like adding turbo boosters to revenue. That's why even Instagram, TikTok shops, Amazon, and airlines push it. Where there is BNPL, there is profit. And where there is profit, there is incentive for BNPL to grow. But here's the other side of the story. BNPL might feel safe, but it can still trap users in stacked microdebts. People end up with 10 open BNPL plans, 7 different payment schedules, 4 apps sending reminders, and suddenly, their entire month is filled with tiny automatic withdrawals. BNPL rewires people to think of debt as harmless. That's the real danger. It turns spending into a subscription. If you want deeper breakdowns like this and the psychology behind everyday economic decisions, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our free newsletter. So what's the final result of all this? BNPL is no longer a trend, it's becoming a default part of modern commerce. Here's what we're seeing. 1. BNPL adoption keeps rising, especially among Gen Z. Younger buyers prefer flexible payments over credit cards. 2. Retailers rely on BNPL to boost revenue. It's now part of the growth strategy for major brands. 3. BNPL reshapes consumer psychology. People buy more, faster, and more frequently, because the pain of spending is hidden. 4. Regulators are stepping in. Countries are starting to regulate BNPL like financial products because debt levels are rising. 5. BNPL evolves into a lifestyle. From groceries to furniture to travel, everything is becoming pay later. BNPL isn't just a payment option. It's a business model engineered for maximum conversion. Buy now, pay later is brilliant, convenient, and for many people, life-saving. But like every financial tool, it comes with responsibility. The real lesson? When money feels easy, spending becomes invisible. And invisible spending is the most dangerous kind.